with episode 5, I think. No, 6.
6,
We're on 6.
Oh, wow.
Losing count already.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
That's notorious with any show that counts their episodes.
Right.
They get it wrong
What?
every time.
We are lucky enough to be at Yolo Brewing Company out here in West Sac. Mike has graciously opened the doors for us. Mike, thanks for having us out.
I'm happy you're here.
Open the doors and open the taps.
Fun
Appreciate
to exactly. We got some beers flowing. So and we're brewing actually right now.
Yeah, you guys
behind
are.
us.
It's a working brewery going on right behind us.
When we say it's a small batch brewery, it is. It's it's right behind us, and we have 2 barrels, so a whole 4 kegs, 2 barrels of our Tower Bridge Triple IPA in the boil right now.
Nice.
And we'll knock that out in about an hour or so.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And as always, I'm Shane, and my co-host here, Lee.
Hello.
So you guys are those new to the show. You've got our introductions out of the way.
Following.
Lee's got a huge following. So that's what we brought our audience. Lee's brought his audience with him. We really appreciate that.
Good. They're all right back there behind the camera.
They're hot. Yeah, we got to stay back.
Yeah. They're being nice and quiet for us. Appreciate that.
We're trying not to swarm Lee.
Yeah.
Right.
He gets out all the time.
Chill, folks.
That's why we usually do it in the backyard.
Okay.
It's safer.
Right. Exactly.
Fences
Low
protecting
key.
us.
Yeah. No paparazzi.
Yeah, exactly.
Except for that helicopter.
That guy peeking over the fence is a nuisance. But
Absolutely.
Damn drones.
it's my brother. What are you gonna do?
Good deal.
No, but thank you again. Thank you very much. This is always exciting. You're our second ever location, so
That's
it's
awesome.
a big deal for
That's
us.
awesome.
And your beer is fantastic. I came yesterday and got to
Cool.
get the lay of the land and see what all was
So you're
going
having
on.
the red ale.
I'm having the
It's
Republic Red.
It's a newish red ale for us. We call it Republic Red. We're hoping to do a little collaboration thing with Sac Republic.
Yeah.
Very
Even
cool.
if that doesn't come together, basically we're big supporters of all things Sacramento.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we have a beer we're working on a beer, Capital Gold.
Okay.
And Republic Red.
Nice.
We think those are good shout outs to the Sacramento region. And so that's a newer one. It's a real fairly hoppy red ale.
Yeah.
A lot of Cascade, Columbus in the aroma edition, but it's got a nice roastiness to it. Real deep red color, and we use some chocolate malt, some roasted malt to give it that depth of color in the red, and also the roasted flavor.
It's delicious.
Yeah, it's tasty.
know
Not
that
too
much.
bitter. Not too bitter. You
Yeah,
drink a lot of
it's
it.
really good, and I like too that it's hoppier than other reds. I usually go for the reds.
Yeah.
But I also these days I'm liking IPAs more and more hoppy beers. So this is a really nice, gets a little
Good
more of that
mid-range.
hoppiness
Right.
to get me right towards what I'm liking
Not
more
too
now.
sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes red ales, there's so much caramel malt in them. I think they're kind of cloying. They're just too sweet.
Yeah. I'm right
When I have
there.
the-
I need it to be a little bit crisp at least.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like your IPA.
Exactly.
That you got.
Yeah, he's got the IPA. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
We can move this out.
Yeah, we don't mind it being there.
No. Check it out, folks.
All kinds of good stuff going on.
Yeah. $4 beers.
They had West Sac Wednesday last night when I was here, and
Yeah.
it was packed. They bringing in bands, and you guys been doing that for a while, or is it a fairly new?
Our band program, we call it Bands in the Beer Hall.
Okay.
Every Friday and Saturday, no cover, family friendly. We're always going to kind of keep it that way.
Right.
Just an open house,
Yeah.
and the bands that play like to do it because they're usually doing gigs that are private parties, or they're at a club or a bar where there's a cover charge, which means their fans and family can't just show
Right.
up.
Yeah.
And so they like to do the gigs here and play, and it's just a big open house and free for all and fun time. Last night was different. Wednesdays we do West Sac Wednesdays. We do $12 pitchers.
Okay.
So whenever we get a big crowd, we kind of wish we weren't doing $12 pitchers, but that's why we do it to bring people in, and we always feature 5 or 6 beers on tap in that range.
Yeah.
So it's a good deal. And then last night, the band that played last night, Sage Mill Road, was his first time out in public for that band.
Yeah.
With the group, the way it's set up.
They were good cover band. They were really
Cool.
They were a lot of fun. People got up dancing.
Really?
nice.
Yeah, there was a couple ladies
Those
got
$12
up,
pitchers.
did some line dancing.
Get it going.
The social lubricant, yeah.
And I had the Dirty Cog Porter last night.
Okay, that's what I'm having right now.
Really enjoyed that. I'm more of a stout porter, dark, that's more.
Good.
And then the reds, and then the IPAs. That's kind of my trajectory typically.
Yeah.
Good.
So last night trying that, it was really good. I had to get something else.
The Cog, the Dirty Cog, is named after. We developed it in the winter. We developed this beer in the winter after sponsoring the cyclocross series.
Oh, okay.
Sacramento cyclocross, we sponsor them. Like, what's a muddy beer? Like, what's a beer for a muddy name? Like a porter.
Right.
Like one of the names that they threw out was Dirty Cog.
Yeah.
So that's it. You've been out tearing up the trails.
Yeah.
On a rainy day, and your bike's a mess, and you want to drink something hearty and rich.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Warm you up.
It's a good fit, I think, for West Sac too, which has a pretty healthy cycling atmosphere.
West Sac's got a great cycling
Yeah.
atmosphere. It's amazing how many people cycle in this town.
Yeah.
So it's good to see.
You were talking earlier about how supporting everything Sacramento, and I love that when I'm in West Sac, my in-laws live out here, so I'm out here fairly often. But it's like, depending on the conversation, it's either hardcore, no, we are West Sac, we are not Sacramento.
Right.
But then in the next conversation, it's, but we support and love both. It's funny how even with the same people,
right,
you get both conversations.
Yeah, no, you do. I think
there's an identity crisis happening.
I think part of that is, I think a lot of West Sac people, they see what's happening here, and every year for like the last 20 years, West Sacramento's come out and said, we're going to do something. We're going to do this project in the Bridge District. We're going to do these projects in Southport. And what happens is they actually start to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, whereas in Sacramento, things take a lot longer.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a degree of civic pride, local pride,
right,
that is regional pride, but it's anchored here because I think West Sac sees itself, and people that live here they see ourselves as being able to get more done.
Yeah.
And but it's all regional stuff.
Right.
Like,
right.
You don't build a baseball stadium and just say it's just about the city. It's a regional thing.
But these are your immediate surroundings, so why not make that as cool as possible, right?
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there's new developments, big and small, in West Sac that happen, pretty organically with intent. But every year something new comes up.
Yeah.
And the fact that in our neighborhood we got 3 breweries, within 4 blocks, is pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's hard to find.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law loves it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
He lives within cycling distance, so he can cycle down and hop.
Perfect.
Yeah.
He works in Davis, so he hits it up on the way home.
Yeah.
We like it. We call it the Port Brewery District.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or the Port Brewery Row, which PBR.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because the Port of Sacramento is right down around the corner.
Yeah, we're in the port. We're in the industrial area that's basically around the port.
Okay. Right.
We're in the shadow of the rice mill. There's a lot of food processing in this area. There's a lot of beverage processing, produce processing. There's a lot of stuff that happens in this area that goes out almost worldwide.
Yeah.
In terms of food and beverage.
Very cool.
So our beer does not go worldwide yet.
Next step.
So how long has Yolo Brewing been in existence? How long have you guys been here?
We are coming right up to our 2-year anniversary.
Okay.
So we've been brewing since 2014.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
it's tough. It's funny because in the Sacramento region you've got like 50 breweries have now popped up overnight. Oh my God!
What, the last probably a similar time when you started, I imagine.
Yeah.
Probably right around then I saw a lot.
A few before us, and then it's just. And the interesting thing about it is, it seems like from a consumer standpoint, they're like just popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
But every brewery takes 3+ years. To develop, to put the plan together, get the money together, get the lease together.
Right.
And so, while they're all popping up now, it's like there's so much underground. There's so much, a lot of roots that go into it, and a lot of effort. And then at this small scale, it doesn't matter how well you're doing, it's still really hard.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing really well, that means you have more beer that means you have more consumers than you have beer.
Right.
So you're like, well, what do we buy next?
Right.
So you're always broke. You're always just dead ass broke. Because you're always thinking, well, what's that next piece of equipment?
Yeah.
What can I buy tomorrow that'll make more beer, or make my beer more efficiently, or make my beer better?
What gets you to that level?
Yeah, what gets me to that next level?
Yeah.
What gets me up, to where I have the centrifuge, like Sparse Water.
Yeah.
So it's exciting and fun, and there's no shortage of commentary, good and bad, and it's an exciting time.
Yet the cynic would say, then why do it?
It's
right,
what we do. I mean, it's what people get you get excited about something, you get passionate about something.
Yeah, I think that's why there's an appeal for us, because it's very similar to the music industry. Like the music scene in Sacramento is great, but nobody's making any money doing it. Like it's really not. You're not in it to get rich.
Yeah,
you're in it because you love it. You love doing it. You love the business and the creativity and like all that stuff.
Yeah, it takes time.
And I feel like there's a lot of parallels.
Definitely the DIY aspect of it.
Right.
No, there's easier ways to get wealthy and have lots of free time, because there's no free. I mean, this morning it's 7:30 now. I was here before 6 a.m. And I had 3 Costco deliveries under my belt before 8.
Nice.
And so, it's like you're just always hustling. Yeah. And I know, like, I think I saw, everything happens on Facebook. So I saw a Facebook post from, I think, Jeff Scott from Track 7, maybe a year or two ago. They had they had crested. They had gotten, critical mass. You could tell they were going to really do well. And I think he posted a picture of like the first new vehicle he's ever bought. Like, it's the first time ever he's bought a new pickup.
Yeah.
And it's like, people up to that point probably figured, oh, they're just killing it. They're just raking it in.
Right.
But this is a guy that's just, he's been busting his ass and putting everything in.
It's all about the company, I imagine.
And it's like it was like a big day.
Yeah.
To say, wow, I actually made a point of success.
Yeah.
That most people that are buying his beer probably have touched that several times.
Yeah.
But doing something maybe they don't love, maybe.
Yeah.
A little
or
bit
certainly not as public.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
So it's but no, it's hard work, but it's exciting, it's fun. And I actually was just thinking today, driving around, because I sample a lot of the beers here.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Weird.
Yeah, I know. But it's when you look at a bucket of hops, you put hops in your mouth, it tastes like it's horrible. It's bitter. Nobody wants to eat hops.
Right.
You take some grain, chew on some grain. As a brewer, I can taste grain and get a sense of where it's going to be.
Right.
But as it is, as just grain, pale 2-row malt, it ain't anything exciting. And so yeast the same, water. You put it, but we do this back here.
Magic.
And
you work magic with it.
It's like, and the thing is, it's all harnessing naturally occurring enzymes, organic compounds that are already in the materials.
Right.
And so, boom, 3 weeks later, you got something like a triple IPA or a stout or, Dirty Cog or the red ale.
Yeah.
Republic Red. And it's like, okay, that's cool. That's really cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So.
It's exciting for us.
I know.
One last thing, we don't, busy as you are, I don't want to keep you too long.
That's all right.
I don't know if anybody noticed, people walking behind us, you guys do a brew program going on back here, right?
We do. I think they were just checking out the kettles to see what goes on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we do brew with customers. Mostly Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
Each weekend we have about 8 spots available.
Yeah.
6 kettles. On a Saturday we'll start a kettle every half hour if we have that much demand. And so we'll start a kettle every half hour. Sundays we'll just basically do 2 kettles on a Sunday. Sunday's kind of an almost sacred day for us in terms of preparing for the week ahead.
Right.
So we'll do a couple brews with customers on Sundays. During the week, sometimes we get some work groups that want to come in and kind of have a team building party during the day, and we work that into our production schedule. But it's cool.
So they get to come in and brew their own.
And they come in and brew,
yeah.
and hopefully they come in with some inspiration, some ideas about what they want.
Right.
And usually they do, whether it's something that they had in Germany or they had in Belgium or they had down the street, or they've gotten excited about some beer style.
Sure.
And given the fact that we've got 20 different malts and 20 different hops, and we've been doing small batch brewing for a long time. I've been doing small batch brewing for almost 20 years. And so we've got, we help them come to a recipe that's going to be what they're looking for. And a lot of times we'll take one of ours or modify one of ours.
Yeah.
But it's fun. And that's where they get to taste the malt and taste the hops.
And
see what the ingredients do in the kettle. when you start with water and then you pump it out in the fermenter, and it's on its way to being beer.
I assume they learn more to respect the process at that point. It's not just magic bottle in your hands.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think they get it. I think they get a sense of respect for what's going on in the process, and also the amount of work involved.
Yeah.
Right.
And then to scale it up.
Yeah.
And be able to do it with controls and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think they get a sense of respect for that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get in on that at some point soon.
We should have
been a couple times.
can.
We should come down and do a backyard brews brew.
Go to YoloBrew.com and
there you go.
sign up.
Speaking of, where can they find you guys?
So we're in. I'm gonna list my favorite retailers that we're in, because there's a couple that I'm not a big fan of. Basically, the retailers that we like to work with the most, the ones that keep the beer, that take care of the beer.
Yeah. Right.
That they take care of the beer. They keep it refrigerated, or if it's not refrigerated, they only buy what they'll move in a week or two.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we're newly into Costco. We're in 6 area Costcos in this region.
Oh wow.
And they're blowing through a lot of beer. I mean, they're selling it fast.
Looking at the groups, that's one of the go-to places these days. Like a lot of the people in the groups are going, Costco's got this, they got that. They're carrying some really good.
Costco's whole thing is, what can we get that's really good? It's cheaper than anywhere you're going to find it. And that's their business model. And so, but as a brewer, they tend to over-order.
Sure.
Yeah.
So my buyer that we work with, she gets, you guys moved 2 cases this last week, so send me 20.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not going to send you 10 weeks worth of beer.
Right.
I won't. I'll send you a week and a half worth of beer.
Right.
And so they have a mindset. I think that's their biggest challenge, is they get in this pallet, like we want pallets.
Yeah.
And for us, we want to send you just enough for the next week or two.
Yeah.
And so we throttle them back, and that way the beer's always fresh.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've been cranking through it. That's they're solid. They look like they're going to be great to work with. Whole Foods is great.
Cool.
Kind of the other end of the spectrum. You pay the price to go into Whole Foods.
Sure.
But they take care of the beer. They
Right.
drop it off. It's stored cold. It's on the shelf cold. They have very little beer that's displayed warm at all.
Right.
And they have a good selection, and they know their product. Nugget Markets is as good or better, I think, than Whole Foods.
I used to love going to Nugget
Nugget's great.
for my craft beer purchasing.
Oh,
It was one
yeah.
of my favorite.
Yeah.
Because they always had a good variety. It was always cold. Good spot.
Nugget's great. And then, right now, those are the ones we love. We are in Total Wine. They store the beer warm, though, which frustrates me. And we're kind of in Safeway.
Okay.
And they've been hard to work with. But we're getting more of our beer on the cold shelf in Safeway.
Cool.
So we're just kind of saying, look, if we can't be on the cold shelf, let's just part ways.
Yeah.
And so some of the Safeways were on the cold shelf, and it works great.
Yeah.
And the other ones we're kind of backing away from.
Right. I imagine the worst thing for you guys is to just burn somebody with a product that isn't what you want out there.
Yeah, so we had 2 of those last week.
Really?
Within a 3-day time period. We
Yeah.
had 2 complaints. One which was very public to Untapped.
Yeah.
Which is, beer rating
It's
app.
Beer Yelp,
It's Beer Yelp.
basically.
And everybody's got a voice.
Sure.
And a guy posted a picture, 1 star, like a half-star rating of a Nutty Brown Ale.
Yeah.
Infected. It's like, all right, well, we have had beers that went out that probably shouldn't have. It's like, crap. Turns out he posted this thing the other day. He drank the beer the other day, or he tried to drink it the other day.
Yeah.
So we messaged and said, hey, when'd you get that? Where'd you get it? Like, we want to track that down and pull it back.
Yeah.
We want to pull it back, drain pour it before a customer has
It is
to drain pour
infected.
it.
You want to get them out of
because
there.
that doesn't do anybody any good. So he said, oh, yeah, I got it the bottle date was September of 2015.
Right.
I bought it in December.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
3 months later, he bought it.
Yeah.
It had been at a Total Wine. It was on the warm shelf for 3 months.
Yeah.
And he bought it. Bottle date's on there. And then he stored it another 4 months warm.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm like, well, no wonder it tastes like shit.
It should have tasted normal then. If that's probably how he handles most of his beer.
I don't know, man. But
Seems
Nutty Brown, it's like a session beer.
Yeah.
You buy it to drink it.
Yeah.
It's not.
Nothing
it's
stays
not
in my
a-
fridge for more than 2 weeks.
No,
That's how I
it's
operate.
not a barrel and in your fridge.
Yeah.
Except like a
It's not-
Bud Light or Coors Light that
No.
somebody else brought over.
No,
That'll stay in
that's-
there for a while
That's
for
a
me.
desperation movement, but
It's
it
like
still happens.
5.4%.
Yeah.
Session
Yeah.
beer has no hops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a beer that you sit and let wait. And
Sure.
I think what people forget is that good old Anheuser-Busch, they pull their product.
Yeah.
They destroy product after like 90 days.
Right.
And lo and behold, our product, our processes here are not as precise as Anheuser-Busch.
Sure.
Right.
But people think they can buy it and let it sit warm for 9 months.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
It's not a wine.
2 days, exactly.
Yeah.
2 days before that, I got an email. Hey, got this bottle. Just doesn't seem right. It tastes really sour. Blah blah. We need to have we need to have better processes here, and we've had a couple, points where the beer went out probably too soon or something.
Sure.
But his beer was from June. It was a year old, and it too had sat warm.
Sure.
And I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
So we got these savvy consumers.
Yeah.
But when you buy the heirloom tomato and you complain to the farmer that it doesn't taste right after 4 months on your countertop,
If only
you got to be a partner with the.
If only beer would grow mold and get funky, easily noticeable, like a tomato, that would solve your problems.
Yeah. It's like I've had more little 3-ounce blocks of Cowgirl Creamery Chev go bad because I didn't consume it.
Right.
And I haven't blown them up. God damn you! Your cheese got moldy.
Right.
So, I mean that's the extreme. I mean, obviously, all of us aspire to put out a product that is totally shelf stable.
Right.
And there are technological ways of getting there,
Yeah.
and there's process ways of getting there. And so,
those are expensive too.
The process is really its attention to detail.
Okay.
And so that's where we are. We're in like the mode of tighten the process.
Right.
Tighten the process.
Yeah.
Know that we'll get that equipment down the road, but still tighten the process.
Yeah.
And we're doing that, and we're better at it now than we were last July and last September.
Right.
So, but it just cracks me up when consumers, like, we thought those shadows of the past were well and gone, and like pop up, like, dude,
we've moved on from this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And how do you have the balls to like post that?
Yeah.
This beer's a year old and it's not perfect. Yeah. I'd be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Right.
Fortunately, it's the vocal minority in almost all aspects, right? It's the people that think they're the critical are decent enough to be critical, but they're not following the process from all sides.
Yeah.
It's not a two-way street there.
Yeah, and we our core beers, the Orange Blossom Blonde is our most popular beer. It's like a session. It's like a year-round session beer.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that are getting jacked up about the barrel-aged imperial stouts, and they're also posting about the Orange Blossom Blonde.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and that's fine. It's a huge market, and if we do the barrel-aged stout and we sell out of that one barrel each year, and we do. And we get a lot of people that are like stoked about it, and they go crazy, and they go, wow, look at that. But we sell, 10 barrels a week of the Orange Blossom Blonde, and nobody says a peep.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. You have your diehards that are not going to leave you, and then you have
because the Orange Blossom Blonde that we're selling 10 barrels a week might pay for that new truck.
Yeah.
There you go.
So.
Well, Mike, before we let you go, can you just real quick plug where they can find you on the internet? Also, your physical location where you guys are.
We're in West Sacramento. We're in the Port Brewery District. We're at Terminal and Del Monte. If you're coming in from outside of town, you get off at Harbor, turn left at the UPS yard. So really easy to get to. We're like 2 minutes from the freeway. Yeah. Yolo Brew, 8 letters, lowercase, no spaces.
Yep.
Pretty much .com. At Yolo Brew on Twitter. At Yolo Brew on Instagram. # Yolo Brew. One thing people always ask is the whole YOLO. YOLO. So we're in West Sac. We're in Yolo County.
Yolo County.
We're in Yolo County. And first and foremost, it's a geographic anchor for us.
Right.
There's a lot of cool stuff that happens in Yolo County. And so we're all about being where we are, and we're proud of that. And then, to the people, there's people that diss or naysayers about the whole YOLO thing, but you know, why do you drink good beer? Are you going to wait?
Yeah.
Why do you go, you know, why do you go snowboarding? Why do
so you guys are embracing the second meeting
yeah,
of Yolo as well.
Yeah. You know, you do only live once.
Yeah.
And so why pussyfoot around the first time and not do things that are good and enjoy things and get involved in the community and drink good beer and get active.
Yeah.
So
right on.
Yeah, so we're in Yolo County, we're in West Sac. Yolo Brew is our it's kind of our hashtag, our handle for just about everything.
All right, right on.
And we're open Tuesday to Sunday.
Okay.
For beer hall drinking.
Awesome. Yeah. So if you guys are in the region, you definitely need to stop by and
check it out.
Cool.
Say hi.
In Costco.
Whole Foods, Costco.
Yeah.
And Nugget.
Those of you on the not putting in the cold shelves, get your act together.
No doubt, man. The retailers have got to get their game together. They gotta take care of the product.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mike,
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Thanks for being
Thank
on.
you. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. One last one.
Most of our kegs are, when we put them on tap, they've been out of fermenter for between 0 and maybe 36 hours.
Yeah.
So we package both kegs and bottles weekly and almost daily.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have almost no inventory. We leave the week with like nothing available.
Very cool.
That's good though, right?
It is good. It's super fresh that way.
Yeah.
And so we're pretty obsessive about it. And I know the day will come where we need to actually have an inventory that maybe sits for a week or two.
Right.
But you know, that we're almost there.
Yeah.
But right now we like the fact that it's always every day. It's absolutely fresh, right out of the fermenter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it tastes
The
good.
quality is where you want it to be at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah.
So we bottle by hand, and I would never tell anybody, oh yeah, our beer's going to taste perfect after 60 days on a warm shelf.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
You get something from Firestone Walker, 60 days on a warm shelf, no big deal. Because it's brewed with the same precision.
They dialed it in.
Yeah, they're dialed in,
Every time.
and they've got a piece of, you know, they have a centrifuge, you know, which is one of the steps in clarifying and getting the beer prepared for packaging.
Right.
It costs more than our entire brewery, like 3 of them.
Right.
So you know, there's and so we all aspire to that, and so I just always tell people, when you're buying local small batch craft, it's like going to the market and buying the fresh heirloom tomatoes in July.
Sure. Yeah.
You don't buy them to save for December.
Right.
Oh, I'm gonna hold on to this. Make a great chutney in November. No, you're gonna buy it today, and you're gonna use it in the next 48 hours, and you go get some more.
Yeah.
And so that's where local small craft is.
Yeah.
That's where it tastes best.
Yeah.
And that's where it's to be enjoyed.
Yeah, puts a little jazz into it.
Yeah.
A little bit of freeform every time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Sac beer, fresh beer.
Yes.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to fresh beer.
Cheers.